Welcome back to AFTV, everyone. I'm sleep deprived. I'm tired. It's been a long season, but this guy's got all the energy in the world. So fair play to you, Marty. And it's like I said, we've swapped roles. You were interviewing me earlier, getting my thoughts on the game, and I was saying we can go through a million things about this club that are so frustrating and angering us right now. But there are some days where you can just enjoy that they showed something, right? And they did, and you seem pretty proud of the team for it.
Can I just ask why you are sleep deprived?
No. I've been no. I was out, and it's fine. And they're already on to me in the comments for partying too much. And you wonder why. You wonder Arsenal. Anyway, back to it. Go for it, mate.
Go on. What was the question? Sorry.
Well, you're proud of the team.
Yeah. Look, going to Anfield, we started amazingly, and I think that Saka chance that comes across, and he's been fantastic all season, but in the last two games he's that chance against PSG, that's a quick ball, it's on the half volley and it goes over the bar. In this game, that for me is an easier chance. I love the technical prowess of that free kick, because they all thought that they were like everyone's offside, but then Saka runs through, and that's new. I haven't seen that this season. It was fantastic.
Can I cut you there? Nicholas Jova, I said on my match review on the Goonverse that he's become a little bit of a pantomime villain. I don't know why, because he had so much credit before, then the mural went up, the camera's always on him. Look, he might be a bit annoying in the way he's always up on his feet. It might be a bit jarring to watch, but at the same time, he's not controlling the Sky cameras. And actually, is it time, for all the criticism and then the credit and then the criticism, that's a free kick where they've come up with something different, and we should have scored from it. So credit to him.
100%. I think I want to see from my management staff. I want to see him on the touchline. I want to see him shouting, bellowing orders. I want to see him getting involved. It shows passion. I don't want to see people just sat on the bench with their arms crossed, not saying anything. That's everything I want. And yeah, you say the set pieces. Now he's trying something different. That's what I love about that. It's something different. I was like, whoa. And you see Saka literally steams through. He's clear on goal, but he doesn't put it in the bottom corner. And then Liverpool are this team. They go and score 2 goals. Gakpo scores the first one, and Szoboszlai puts a fantastic ball. They just tear through us. Diaz, it's in the back of the net. I think on that, the first one, Saliba and Kiwior, I think they switched off a little bit. One of them's got to get their man on the second one as well. I think Saliba's got to track him better. I think he's got to be goal side of him. And this is me not hammering the players. I think they're both phenomenal players. I think Saliba, in the last few games, he hasn't been at the levels that we've come to know and love. He's still, that you've got to track him. It's goal side. It's basic stuff. Like when Trossard and Partey were that ball comes to him and it was like, who's going to have it? You call for it. You tell him. Trossard goes Trossard's ball. Partey calls for it, and then you smash it. You take a chance or you dribble it and you put it away. But one of them's got to take it. Those are basics in football. But then you're 2-0 down at Anfield, and at half time we were talking about it. We were saying, this is kind of dead and buried, and you're half expecting Liverpool to come out and score a couple of goals, and it could be an embarrassing day. Apart from the Guard of Honour, which is well deserved, and credit to Arsenal for doing it, and Liverpool thoroughly deserve that without a doubt. They've won this league. With basically it could have ended up being nearly 20 points. Hopefully, it's not going to be that much at all. But and then Arsenal go and just do an Arsenal thing. They score a goal. It's 2-1. Martinelli with a header, which is you just
used to do that back in the day, and now we've sort of re-unlocked something he was doing in 2018.
Yeah, and then Mikel Moreno, scores again. Pops up, gets his goal, but then disappointingly goes and gets sent off, being on a booking. It's outside the box. You've made one challenge. After making that challenge, he does very well to get up, but that's all. That second challenge is always going to be a lunge. And I think a player of that quality needs to not be as rash as that, because we could have gone on and win that. We could have gone on to win that game.
Yeah, needed.
Odegaard had the chance at the end, and Odegaard was a lot better, I think, today. He really was. His levels picked up. He was doing a lot more. There was a lot more intent and purpose about his game, and I like to see that. And I imagine that, going and nicking it 3-2 from being 2-0 down. All right, it didn't happen. Honours even. It was a fair result. And, we walk away with some pride intact at Anfield. Okay, albeit it's not the result we want, but this is a top team that have won the championship.
We want positivity around the club, of course we do, and it's hard when we've had the season we've had, and the injuries. It's felt like bad news after refereeing decisions, after Liverpool win, and it's just like, it's so often it's felt like there's been a punch to the gut with Arsenal this season, and a lot of it our own doing at times. Some of it we can't do a lot about. We want to, though, go into the summer as much positivity as possible. What does that look like? What does the club do? And that's not to say we can go into the summer going, oh, everything's great, let's forget about what happened, because that would be the worst thing we can do. But is it wins? Is it early transfer news? Is it signing? What is it? The Zubimendi thing. However, even me was feeling so negative. I was feeling 1% better about Arsenal, knowing that Zubimendi was done and dusted. We can move on to the next thing. What do you need to see from a results perspective, and maybe kind of on the outskirts of Arsenal in the media, just going into this summer as we end the season?
So results perspective, if I'm honest with you, this season I have seen improvements, and those improvements in the Champions League, we have been far superior to the team that I saw last season. There have been huge improvements. At times, we have been the best team in that competition, which sounds crazy considering obviously we've just been knocked out. But you consider the amount of injuries that we've had. 12 first-team players have been off for 7 games or more. You look at the Liverpool team, before they won it in, I think it was 2020, when there was COVID. That team the season before, they had similar amount of injuries. They had a huge, and that essentially cost them the title because they couldn't, really form that title charge. Doing business early, that is huge. Hearing this Zubimendi deal put over the line quickly, I'm used to seeing these deals going over, transfer deadline day, drag out, getting these deals done. That's what I want to see. That's progression. Is it perfect? Have there been disappointing times in this season? Of course, because we end up trophyless. And that's always going to be disappointing. A club of Arsenal's stature and greatness needs to reduce the amount of time in between winning silverware, definitely. We are a cat's whisker away from doing that. And today's result shows that. Okay, Liverpool might slightly be on the beach. Also, we've just come off of a really disappointing result to PSG. The levels in class, we know what we need to fix. And it's looking like that is going to get fixed in the summer. Bring in a striker, bring in a winger, whoever that may be, Eze, Williams, one of those versatile players. We go again next season, and then we will see where we're at with that killer number 9. The last two games, and I'll end it on this, the last 2 games of the season, I want to see, we get a win against Newcastle at home. That would be a nice send-off at the Emirates next week. And then, go to Southampton and hopefully smash a load past them. That's all we can want. I'm going to enjoy the football until the end of the season and have a nice break at the end of it.
Well, City just got a draw at Southampton, so maybe not be as easy. But you know what? Let's get the job done. Marty, big thanks. Appreciate it. Thank you, man.